Hello all, my name is Ben Kotsifas, and today I will be talking about how European green crabs are invasive to the coast of the United States and their effects to local ecosystems. What is an invasive species? Invasive species come in all shapes and sizes, whether it lives on the land or in the water. The definition of an invasive species is an organism that disrupts the natural order of an ecosystem. Examples of this are overeating and overpopulation. Overeating would mean that the invasive species is eating a population faster than that population can reproduce. And overpopulation would mean that the invasive species would be in such great numbers that they would overrun the native species in the ecosystem and drive them out. What are European green crabs? European green crabs, or Carcinus manus, their scientific name, are crabs that are known for their very fast breeding rates and their aggressive behavior, which is one of the main reasons why this is a topic of discussion today. The reproduction rates are so high that the female crabs can produce up to 185,000 eggs before their final molt. If you look at the picture on the slide, it gives you a good representation of just how many eggs they can produce. See that big ball of orange mass right there? That is their eggs. These crabs around the British Isles, the people there refer to them as shore crabs, and in the United States and South Africa, they just call them green crabs. European green crabs might not always be green in color. They are usually a very dark green color with either brown or yellow spots or blotches on the shell. Green crabs usually have a orange-red underside. Their carapace, or shell, is usually around 3 inches wide. And they have 5 spines along the carapace towards their eyes. This is how you determine a green crab. It's not always by color. European green crabs were transported to the United States a long time ago and have been invasive ever since they got here. They got here in the 1800s in the ballast water of big ships that were coming from Europe in their larval stage. Another way they have came was from the currents, from El Niños, which is a type of hurricane that caused these currents. They have transported them all the way from Europe to the United States. These crabs are very aggressive, and because of their aggressive behavior and rapid breeding, they are now scattered everywhere and overeating populations that live in these ecosystems all across the United States. Populations that were affected by these green crabs are organisms such as shellfish, scallops, clams, mussels, and oysters. All of those have been affected by green crabs overeating them. They also don't just disturb animals, they disturb a lot of plant life as well. And eelgrass beds are one of those. They dig into the sediment of the eelgrass beds, which ultimately kills them. And they do this all over the United States. Getting rid of green crabs off the coast of the United States is nearly impossible, just because of the sheer population of them and how quickly they overpopulate. But there are some ways that people are trying. And one of these main ways of stopping them is by trapping them and trying to trap them in large numbers. By trapping them, you could also eat them, and this would make for reducing the population of them. What makes this so hard is because of the population and the sheer size of it and how quickly they can reproduce. So it would make it very hard to get all of them out of the coast of the United States. To conclude this presentation, European green crabs are a highly invasive species that are nearly impossible to get rid of. And this is because of their rapid reproduction and their aggressive behavior. They outcompete multiple other species that are native to ecosystems, which is why they are considered highly invasive. And they are also migrating all across the coast of the United States. As of now, they are a big threat to our ecosystems and need to be dealt with. Solutions for invasive species are always trying to be made every single day to prevent the extinction of native populations. These were the sources that were used to make this presentation. Thank you for listening.